It is time for our daily law and order feature. Let's speak to Make SA Safe founder and anti-crime activist Yusuf Abramjee, joining us by Skype from Pretoria. Yusuf, afternoon to you on this cold, bitterly cold afternoon in Gauteng. And we saw yet another cash and transit robbery, Yusuf, in Soweto in the last 24 hours. Members of the public then went for the cash. After the robbers had left, police have now issued quite a stern warning against communities.
Good afternoon, Timothy. Let's not forget, as much as we are all freezing, sometimes the criminals don't get the cold and they continue to run havoc in our cities and our towns. So criminals strike at any time of the day and night. Yes, we saw an incident in Soweto. Those visuals have gone viral where we see a CIT vehicle being bombed. Within minutes of the bombing, as quick as the robbers left, members of the public in their dozens surged forward, going for the remains of the loot. Now, the South African Police Service have issued a very stern warning this afternoon, saying, first of all, it's a crime to go and pick up the remains of the loot. But secondly, they say that it's also very dangerous. If I can just quote briefly from the statement, they say CIT heist crime scenes can often be very dangerous, particularly when explosives are used in such robberies. It is for this reason that we warn members of the community that in some instances it is possible that not all the explosives were detonated at the time when the robbery was committed. And they therefore warn members of the public to stay clear from the crime scenes. Let's also not forget, as the police say, it's a crime to go for the remains of the loot. It's also defeating the ends of justice. It affects the crime scene. So when you see a CIT robbery, the best thing is to stay clear, immediately call 10111 and let the police come and secure the scene. We even seen in Kagiso about 2 weeks ago a similar scene, where a vehicle crashed into a CIT robbery. Within moments, members of the public scrambled forward and picked up thousands and thousands of rands of cash. Some arrests were made in that particular robbery where members of the public were arrested the next day.
Something else that's going on, these gangs that are continuing to rob people in street attacks. We're seeing dramatic video that surfaced in the last few hours of robberies that took place in the Hillbrow part of Johannesburg. What is the modus operandi of these gangs?
Now, we know these gangs have been very active, particularly in our CBDs of Johannesburg, in Pretoria, in Cape Town and Durban. It seems to me it's the same gangs that are at work. They have a similar modus operandi. So when innocent members of the public walk, they suddenly approach you from behind, they grab you, and they throw you to the floor. That is where 3 or 4 other members of the gang then pounce, they empty your pockets, and they simply take a very casual walk into the nearby buildings. We saw at the Venom Court in Hillbrow at least 2 incidents over the past weekend. And again, these people are cool and calm. In some of the incidents that we had also in the Vereniging CBD, these gangs can become violent. So members of the public need to be very alert. But I'm very surprised that our law enforcement officers, our cops, are not acting and not even going up and following up many of these cases. But the modus operandi in most of them seem to be very, very daring, and they strike in broad daylight.
Yusuf Abramjee, thank you for joining us. Yusuf Abramjee is the founder of Make SA Safe.